connect to your path with light language. This is the beautiful divine video that you want to watch. We are going to teach you and guide you to help you understand your connection with light language in the most beautiful divine way. My name is Melissa Bates. I have been doing light language for about 5 years. I'm a facilitator, activator, and a quantum healer, as well as an angelic plus galactic channel of light. I always like to say this. 5 years ago, this is exactly where I started with light language. I came to YouTube to figure it out. And I think after I exhausted all of those resources, that is when I hired a coach. So I'm very honored to bring this, content for those of you that are maybe just starting that journey, or maybe you've been on it and you've been seeking a video to help you connect to light language. And if you haven't seen my last video, make sure you connect with it, because it teaches you how to speak light language in less than 35 minutes. It's very awesome. So I have this beautiful, this is my light language that I've drawn. And then I have a prayer that I give you in the video as well to help you really connect to light language and go deeper in. So, make sure you check out that video. And as always, like, comment, and subscribe so that we can get more beautiful divine beings of light on this video to amplify the light language co-creation in the world. So today, this is an activation, meaning that I'm going to be channeling light codes, frequency, healing, quantum energy to help you really open up, to connect to your highest path of light language. And I just want to be like, yeah, baby. When I found light language, I deeply called. I was like, God, show me who I am. I have too much sunshine in me to be living this life. Show me who I am. And light language brought itself to me. And when I heard it, I feel like every sensory, every aspect of myself just was like, what is this? What is this? What is this? What is this? And that was me. I, did YouTube. I read the books. I did all the things until I was at a point where I was like, okay, I want to learn more. I want to know more. Because I just felt like it was the way to go. Like there was everything inside of me was saying, this is the path. And I just trusted that. And it's been 5 years. And I have, I've been able to create light language retreats around the world. In Bali, 2 in Bali, 1 in Costa Rica, San Diego. I've done events in LA. I have 2 retreats coming up, 1 in Joshua Tree in October and 1 in Hawaii in April of next year, 2026. So I like to say light language pays me to travel the world. It pays me to exist. It pays me to create amazing things for people to grow, evolve, and expand. And I love it. So if you feel this interconnectivity to light language, this is the video, because it's going to help you connect even deeper to it, not just consciously, but also subconsciously. And we're going to get you so connected to your soul and your sovereign higher self and, the beautiful beings of light that are here to support you as well. So we're going to have fun with this beautiful connection video. And as always, if you have any questions that come up for you, just drop them in the comments, drop them below. I would absolutely love to create this beautiful space and beautiful community where we can all come together and, share our truth with light language. And, I was so low when I found light language that it felt like a blessing. And I didn't really create and have that space to create the narratives. What are people going to think about me? Are people going to laugh at me? Is it weird that I'm speaking light language? Like, I didn't have that time because I just wanted something that felt genuine and that I could fall in love with, that I could help other people. And also, when I learned light language, I think maybe, at a certain point, my mentor was like, okay, go practice. And I was like, huh? So when I went to practice, I started practicing on people that I knew and people that I didn't know. And both sides were having the most amazing transformations. And it was wild. It was wild what people came in. I was healing inner child trauma. I was healing, I was healing events that people went through in their life. I was healing events that people never told anybody about. I was healing all these different things that came up in my sessions. And it was changing people's lives. So I had no time to go, but what if people think it's weird? All I saw was the transformation in front of me. And I knew I had to keep doing it. I knew I had to keep going because it was just so amazing. I was like literally like this, like blown away, especially meeting people that I didn't know and being able to channel things. And they were just like, yeah, that's exactly how I feel. And I'm like, what? Really? Really? So I want to tell you, maybe this is where you're at right now on your journey, or maybe you're questioning yourself. Is this real? Is this happening? We all go through it. We all go through it, but there will be a certain part where you feel the word that comes through is duty. Your collective duty is to co-create the most, divine experiences that feel really good to you, that help other people ascend and grow and evolve and live better lives. And when we come from that point, we get out of our own way. So if you had to hear that today, I'm glad that I've been able to bring that to you, because I invite you to get out of your own way, and I invite you to share your gifts, because they're so beautiful and so amazing. And I always like to say this. I'm like, obviously there's so many beautiful people in this world doing light language already. I know that. But when facilitators are fully from the heart and are deeply in love with sharing their gifts, it shows up in a different way. It shows up in a different context. And I think that is when people really have the most amazing transformations. So I like to call forward people with really big, beautiful hearts, that are ready to share their light language and ready to make a big impact, and ready to get out of their own way, and ready to be confident, and ready to blast through those glass ceilings, because that's not us. We are immaculate. We are, God in creation and co-creation. If we look at the universe and we're like, oh my God, the sun, we look at the earth, we're like, oh my God, the sunset's so beautiful. The sunrise is so beautiful. The trees, the flowers, like that's us. That is us, right? And what comes through is like, the earth has turmoil, and yes, we have turmoil inside. The earth is healing, so are we. But, we're not judging the earth of what she's going through right now. We're doing things to help her, right? So just as we do things to help her, we get to also acknowledge that we get to grow in beautiful ways. And we're not out here judging Mother Earth that she had a landslide or something like that. She's going through things. So it's remembering to remind us that, it might look like a landslide for Mother Earth, but it might feel like a landslide for us inside. But we get to love ourselves through all of the shifts, the doubts, the confidence, all of it, right? Because we are magic. We're pure magic. We're freaking magic. Okay, so this activation, I am going to be co-creating with Sophia Christ Consciousness, which is basically the, creator of all, Shaka Hekanakashi, and also the feminine Christ Consciousness, Shaka Nakashi. I'm going to be co-creating with the High Angelic Realm, as well as the Arcturian Council of Light. The Arcturian Council of Light is my soul family, as star seeds, my soul family. And if you're not an Arcturian, drop down below who you are. Like, who's your soul family? And then so we have Sophia Christ Consciousness, her Divine Dragon Tribe, Shakadarakashi, which is of her beautiful dragons, Ascended Masters, High Angelic Realm, Arcturian Council of Light, Shahakanakai. That's who we're co-creating with today. Shahakanakashi. Yeah, baby. Shahakanakashu. Okay. So this transmission is going to guide you. So I'm just going to invite you to close your eyes in this now moment. Sharaka, choo, relax your nervous system. Koo, ya ya kana ya kana ya kana ya kana. I call forward Sophia Christ consciousness and her beautiful divine dragon tribe to help create a beautiful divine shahakaneke ikunoya kanaka shishiniki, to help these beautiful divine beings of light ascend into their highest level consciousness, understanding and being aware of their collective and soul path co-creation with light language. Clear their path, clear their mind, clear their frequency and vibration. Calling in Sophia Christ consciousness dragons to do a deep cleansing, clearing, and purification for them right here, right now. Beautiful. And how is that feeling? Do you feel any tingling? What's coming up for you? Feel free to drop it in the comments. And take a deep breath into your heart. And this is just a transmission to help you surrender, right? If you follow me, if you watch my channel very often, you know that in the beginning I started with the prayer that sounds very similar to this. Divine God, Source, Universe of All There Is, lead me, show me, guide me. I 100% surrender to my highest path. Show me who I am. So this is just a frequency of surrender. Who am I with light language? What is light language here to do for me? How am I here to serve with light language? Because this video is meeting you not just to be a facilitator or an activator of light language. This video is also meeting you to allow light language to help you, purify your vessel and remember, right? Before I started speaking light language, when I first heard it, it sparked something inside of me. But before I made the decision to learn it, I was, I had quantum healing sessions. I had light language sessions. I also had Reiki sessions. But what I found, is I had a couple Reiki sessions and then I moved to quantum healing and light language. And between quantum healing and light language, everything started drastically shifting. So I was like, I want to do this for my clients, because back in that point, I was working as a business coach. And it's really interesting because at that time, I just said to myself, Melissa, something's missing. Like something's missing in your business. Like I just know it's not fully here yet. And then when I brought quantum healing and light language on, I was like, boom, there you go. Boom, boom, boom. And it's like a part of me just knew. And with that inner knowing, I started calling in to meet the larger, more expansive version of me so I could bring on these codes, right? So for me, light language, it transformed my life before I even started learning it. And I think that's also why I became very passionate about it as well, because I saw, first and foremost, my business grow and everything shifted really rapidly. And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. We got to do this for more people. We got to turn more people onto this magic. So now with me and my clients, obviously I have my Light Language Academy and Light Language workshops and retreats, but I also do a lot of light language around abundance and money and things of that sort. I have my quantum healing calls so that people can come and show up and exactly who they are to help clear the resistance, right? I had this beautiful soul come to me, I want to say 2 years ago, and this is very common, and this is something else that I would love to talk about. A lot of people that do healing don't practice energetic hygiene, which is very, very important, very important. And this is actually why I stopped working with my Reiki facilitator, because I felt I had one session with her that was amazing, and then I had another session and I was like, ooh, this does not feel like me. And I was asking my team, is this me? And they're like, no, this is not you. So, you know, when you're not using energetic hygiene, you're easily able to transfer someone else's codes to a different person, or people are co-creating with so many things. So long story short, I met this beautiful soul that had been in Mexico, and she co-created with this facilitator out there. And after that, she had a shit year. Like, her year was horrible. And then she came to me, and then we cleared all that crap up. And then, you know, within, I think 6 months to a year, she met, you know, her partner, and then eventually got pregnant. And these are things that she wanted, right? But nothing was adding up. Nothing was, you know, co-creating at that capacity that she desired. So when you're co-creating with a facilitator, I always like to say, drop into your heart and ask, is this for my highest good? And if it's like, yeah, baby, then go for it. But if it's like, no, this is not for your highest good right now, then it's not for you, and that's okay. Everyone's not for everyone, but it's also just being aware of, you know, you're not going to go jump into a stranger's bathwater. You're not going to do that. You're probably going to drain the water, make sure it's fully clean, and then pour your new fresh water, right? Same thing with energy. You don't want to jump into someone else's old energy. You want to make sure you're cleaning yourself, as well as making sure any facilitators you're co-creating with is cleaning yourself. So in the Light Language Academy, and even in the workshops, I teach you, you know, hygienic practices to make sure you're not only clean, but if you're doing facilitation, you're also clearing the spaces. It's very, very important. But I'll make another video for that, y'all. But when I did my, I recently was paid to speak in Canada to do a light language workshop. And when this beautiful soul, she's one of my past, she created this beautiful event in Canada called Dancing with the Divine. She's one of my past Light Language Academy students. And when she approached me to do a workshop there, I was like, okay, but who's doing the energy for the event? And she was like, nobody. And I'm like, can I do the energy for the event? She's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, cool. Because when you're co-creating, you know, big group spaces, make sure that you're setting the parameter so that no one is tapping into anyone else's energy, and you have a big, beautiful, clean space. And I say this as well because I have been to 2 events where I picked up some shit. No, I went to 2 events. One event I picked up some shit. That's where I learned to pick up anything else anymore. But the second event, I felt the shit in the room. So I stopped my experience to clear it so that no one else would have to pick it up, right? And then I couldn't really get back into my experience because I already had that. So I just tried to rest and enjoy the rest of my experience. But no one should go through that, especially when you're bringing people into a healing space. You have no idea what they've gone through. You have no idea what type of healing they want to shift. And the best thing that we can do as a healer, facilitator, guide, mentor is create a beautiful, pristine space, heaven on earth, where they feel so whole and juicy and so supported and just filled with love, and they're not in fear. They're just fully open to release and heal and evolve. Like, it's very important to me to not only help people activate, but also, you know, create space where they learn different facilitation techniques to create the most epic experiences for all. So it's very dear to my heart. One, because I've experienced some crazy stuff on my healing journey, and I really want people to be in pure spaces and create pure spaces. So more of us that ascend in that way and teach it, we're going to have a different space, you know, where people go into these powerful spiritual healing spaces, but they also come out, you know, better than they went in, right? Now come out worse than you went in. We don't want that. And it happens very often, extremely often. And people have lost their lives because of it too. So it's really important that us as facilitators and activators, that we understand our tools, understand how to co-create with them, understand the capacity that we can co-create. Like, I know, if someone comes to me and they have something that I cannot heal, or I'm not an expert in that space, I'm going to send you to someone I know. And I have a lot of expert healers around me. I'm an expert as well, but I've been in the game for 5 years, and I know people that have been in the game 14, 20 years. So if I know that what you're approaching me with is not something that I'm an expert at, I'm going to send you to someone that is. Shahakana Kashi. Because I'm not going to take your money if I am not at that capacity to help you, go through that expansion. And I think, there are a lot of people that will just take your money, and that's not okay. And I've had people come to me and tell me the things that they've experienced, and I'm like, why? But I get it. Everyone's not in integrity, but there are so many beautiful people in integrity, which is really epic. Shahakana Kashi. Okay, let's get back to that connecting to light language. But I think this is really important because I know a lot of you that are going to watch this are facilitators. Maybe you're already coaches, guides, mentors, healers, Reiki masters, Shahakana Kashi. If any of this information resonated with you, then that's powerful. Shahakana Kashi. Take a deep breath in. Open that heart. And this is just opening up that awareness of light language, inviting light language to speak to you, inviting your soul to speak to you, inviting your sovereign higher self to speak to you, inviting the universe of 100% pure, unconditional love, light, and above to help you on your path. Shakaya makaya 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 ma. Good. And with that said, we are complete. We are complete, my beautiful souls. So once again, this transmission was really just to, even when I was speaking, it was working on your capacity to hold the light codes, to understand the light codes, to get comfortable with light codes, to go further on your beautiful journey, whether it's your own healing journey, or if it's, becoming a quantum healer and a light language facilitator, Shahaka. If you want to know more about my academy as well, drop some comments below, and then I'll make a video that tells you fully about my 12-month light language academy that teaches you quantum healing, light language, channeling, grid work, nervous system work, building your business, attracting clients, elevating your money, Shahaka, all the things. You might feel a little tingles in your head, and this is because this transmission is working on your conscious mind, Shahaka Nakashi, and then after your conscious mind, it's going to go work on your subconscious mind, Shahaka Nakashi Kinakishi, because if you have any limitations or restrictions that are like, I can't do that, that's not who I am, Shahaka Nakashi, it's helping you come back to your infinite remembrance. Every single day we are remembering, right? Let me leave you with this. Even if it's beyond light language, use this simple phrase. Today I choose to remember. So today I choose to remember my connection with light language. Today I choose to remember my connection with financial overflow. Today I choose to remember my connection with angels. Whatever comes to you, whatever you're ready to remember. Today I choose to remember my infinite timelines of existence. Today I choose to remember my highest level soul path, right? Maybe you're just seeing this video because you're just connecting to light language. So you can say, I choose to remember my highest level soul path with light language. I choose to remember my highest level of ascension, I choose to remember my highest level of love and light and play and adventure, right? We've gone through, and I'm not speaking for everyone, but I'm speaking for myself and, other people that I've met and clients and things of that sort. But sometimes we go through these processes, and obviously this is what we're doing on a soul human level, we forget. But we also have more experiences where we forget even more in life. Like, it's like there was a point where I knew who I was, and then all of a sudden I forgot, because maybe you were with a partner or with friends, and you know, decided to mold your identity. So you had to go through this process of remembering. I've done it. So today I choose to remember my fullest truth, what I love to do. I remember one time my healer was like, have some fun. And I was like, how do you have fun? What do I like to do for fun? Right? Because sometimes life gets so serious. Life gets so serious that we forget to play, to have fun, to dance, right? One of my favorite pastimes is going to Disneyland. And I love it. And I have made content with ears before. No shame. No shame. I love that being my, and I literally have ears right here. I mean, it is what it is, right? So take some time to remember just anything that you would like to connect with, whether it be, you know, connecting with more of your masculine energy, connecting more with your divine feminine energy, or a beautiful balance of both. I choose to remember how to balance my masculine and divine feminine energy. I choose to remember how to sit back in my feminine energy and allow myself to receive at a higher capacity. I choose to remember how to be, you know, maybe you're working on being more soft and more gentle with yourself. Today I choose to remember, you know, supporting myself at a higher capacity. Today I choose to remember my greatness, right? Whatever you are ready to embody, go for it. Today, I choose to remember how rich and wealthy I am meant to be in this lifetime, right? So have fun with that little beautiful food for thought, a little tip under my sleeve. And make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm gonna have more beautiful videos all about light language and, you know, just going on that beautiful ascension path, Shaka Nakashi. But the next several are gonna be very light language heavy. So if that is what you're seeking, make sure to turn on that notification bell so you know when I drop a new beautiful divine video. And if any questions come up for you on this video or any videos, drop them down in the comments. And what was your biggest takeaway from this video as well? Like, what was it? A feeling? Was it like a aha moment with something that I said? Or was it that new spark of like, Melissa, I'm ready to go all in, which I love because there's so many people around me that do that, and I love that. I'm just gonna start calling myself the all-in coach, because I am a projector, and I have the gift of vision, seeing really vast, expansive opportunities for people that co-create and work with me. And even for my friends, they just get it because they get it, but they don't get it. They get it in the space of when we're having a conversation like that, and we're just going on our big, beautiful expansion. It just naturally pops out, and they're fine with it. I'm not the type of person that's like, and you should do this, and you should do this, and you should do this, because you can easily tell people that, but if they're not ready for it, they're not ready for it. So it's usually when we have our big, expansive chats that, you know, we both, the majority of my friends are channels, so it all just kind of comes out. And I will tell you this, last thing I'll say, and I say this a lot, I say the last thing I'll say, and I keep going for another 30 minutes, but this is the last thing I'll say. When I first started this journey, I had no friends doing this. I was all by myself, and if that is you right now, simply call in. Divine God, Source, Universe of all there is, angels, I call in my soul tribe. I call in people around me that are on the same path, they're doing the same thing, that are ready to get down. And when I started opening up to that, so many people. I met so many people, majority online and some people offline as well. But I met so many people that were doing the same thing. And it's powerful to have people around you that are co-creating, you know, in that same vicinity, because it's motivating, it's expansive, it's not lonely. So this divine reminders that whatever we're seeking is always available, but it's also taking the time to call it in. That's all we got to do. Just call it in. God, source, universe, all there is, angels, I call in more money, I call in more clients, I call in more travel, I call in more this, I call in more that, I call it in, I call it in, I call it in, I call it in, and I open my heart to receive it. And for those of you that are deeply on this light language journey, light language is coding frequency. So you can use it to code your manifestations into your reality, into your timelines. This is something that I'm going to be adding on to the Light Language Academy and teaching people. But for those of you that are already advanced channels, this is something that you can download with your team. Sharakahanakashi. And for those of you that are in my Light Language Academy, you will also learn how to do this as well. Sharakahokanakahekanakashi. Light language is transforming on multiple layers. So I'm excited to peel that onion for more people to see just how amazing light language is. With that said, I love you, I adore you, and I look forward to connecting with you soon.